Alright guys, so if you love AC/DC as much as I do, you'll probably at some point search for bands that are similar, like very similar sounding to AC/DC, because as we know, certainly at the minute, AC/DC do not release albums very much at all. I'm hoping that Rockabust isn't the last album, but it might very well be. So yeah, at some point you've probably searched for good bands that are influenced by AC/DC. So the first one is my second favourite band of all time after AC/DC, and that is Airbourne. If you have not heard of Airbourne, seriously fucking go and check them out now. From Australia, like AC/DC, two brothers, Joel and Ryan, like Angus and Malcolm, and they're just so epic. They're like AC/DC, but harder and faster and more powerful. And I'd go as far really with Airbourne as saying if they continue to make albums like Black Dog Barton, they're going to be better than AC/DC. I really would. Second band is Bonafide, from Sweden. The lead singer is called Pontus Snib. They're quite good as well. They've just released a new album. Wasn't as good as their previous albums in my opinion, because it wasn't as like AC/DC as some of their other albums, but if you listen to songs like Fill Your Head With Rock, which is playing now, that's, you know, really similar to AC/DC. Third band is called Bullet. They're also from Sweden, and they're very 80s, but do sound a lot like AC/DC in some songs. Fourth band is very new, only formed a couple of years ago, released their debut album last year, and that is Thundermother. Now, they're like a girl version of AC/DC, but they are very, very good, in my opinion. They've got another album coming out soon. Fifth band, which is quite new as well also, is Dynamite. They've only released 2 albums, one in 2013, one last year. And they're a lot like 70s AC/DC. Same goes with sixth band called 77. They're obviously by the name you can tell influenced by 70s Bon Scott AC/DC. They're from Spain. Seventh band is Sideburn, which I'd say they're a bit of a mixture of AC/DC with a bit of ZZ Top, and I also really like ZZ Top, so Sideburn are pretty good. Like, they've got some pretty sort of bluesy songs. Now these last 3 bands aren't really modern, but you should, if you haven't heard of them, you should still definitely check them out. Rhino Bucket is number 8. They released their first album in like 1990, and that was probably their best album. Then they released a couple of other good albums as well after that. Their music's pretty catchy and like upbeat and stuff, so check them out. Ninth band is Krokus, which are from Switzerland, I believe, and they've been going a while, so I'm pretty sure you would have heard of them. But their most recent album that was released 2013, that's got a song called Hallelujah Rock and Roll, which really does sound like Bon Scott, you know, sort of AC/DC style. The last band, I just crease at this band. If you haven't, they're not new, they're from like the 80s and 90s, but if you haven't heard of them, really just watch one of their video clips and see how much they look like AC/DC. The band is called ABCD. So, yeah, if you haven't heard of them, go and check them out. Their songs are really, they're just a complete rip-off of AC/DC. But they do have some songs which are a little bit different, and I do listen to them. But some of their songs like Jackpot or Victory are basically just rip-offs of Thunderstruck. But yeah, they're an alright band. So yeah, that was the top 10 list of modern-ish bands to check out if you really like AC/DC like I do. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, head over to me main channel where I upload like vlogs and random videos, occasionally pranks if I can get out and film them. So yeah, go and check that out. That would mean a lot. Thanks for watching. hope you enjoy the music of these bands.